Good morning. Yes, good morning, everybody. Good to be here. Sorry, it's slightly late. Do apologise for that. It's my fault. Just let me give you a couple of figures in a minute. Today we're going to recap the first weekend with Etienne Taubois, who, as you know, is CEO of Paris 2024, and Christophe Duby, IOC Olympic Games Executive Director. But first off, I'll just give you a couple of quick figures, and Anne, I think, has something she wants to give you too. So, have got some overnight broadcasting audiences. NBC Universal report the audience of the opening Saturday of Paris 24. Competition increased by 83% compared to the opening Saturday for competition in Tokyo Olympic Games. 9 report that through Sunday, that's Australia by the way, 28th of July, 13.4 million Australians have tuned into 9 network coverage of Paris 2024. That's half the country's population. They do love sport there. IOC Digital. Yesterday, the Olympics social media handles generated almost 1 billion daily engagements, which is 5 times more than the equivalent day during Tokyo 2020. The Olympics web and app set another record yesterday with over 23 million people visiting the platforms. I've got 19 gold medals events today. I don't know what you have, Anne, but I have down that there are 19. Some news for you. Medal allocation announcement. The medal allocation ceremony for the figure skating team event from Beijing 2022. I'm sure many of you will remember that. Will be held at the Champions Park at 5 p.m. on the 7th of August. At the Champions Park, 5 p.m. on the 7th of August. Other Olympic medal reallocation ceremonies will also be held on the 9th of August with a 13:45 start. Okay, so let's look back at what has been a truly impressive first weekend. Don't want to do a spoiler alert, but Etienne Taubois, over to you. Oh, sorry, Anne first. I do apologise. I announced you. And then...
No worries. Just to, I will speak in English. Sorry, this morning. Bonjour à tous. Donc une information à partager en plus des éléments présentés par Marc. Donc c'est l'ouverture du parc des champions, de Champions Park. C'est l'ancien site protocolaire de la cérémonie d'ouverture qui va devenir l'une des places fortes pour célébrer les médaillés des Jeux de Paris 2024 dans un cadre qui est absolument exceptionnel au pied de la Tour Eiffel. Donc le Champions Park, le Parc des Champions, c'est l'une des innovations de Paris 2024, une autre innovation qui concourt à illustrer, à concrétiser notre slogan, notre vision d'ouvrir grand les Jeux. L'accès, il est gratuit, donc le public pourra célébrer gratuitement les médaillés des Jeux sur la base du premier arrivé, premier servi. Le Champions Park va être ouvert pendant 9 jours, entre aujourd'hui et le dimanche 11 août, et il pourra accueillir jusqu'à 13 000 personnes par jour. Donc vous avez déjà vu l'ambiance exceptionnelle dans nos sites de compétition. On peut imaginer la même ferveur tous les jours au Champions Park, tous les jours d'ouverture. Donc le Parc des Champions va être ouvert à partir de 16h aujourd'hui, avec un programme musical, un programme de célébration jusqu'à 23h30. Chaque journée, le défilé des athlètes sera présenté par une légende du sport et on va commencer aujourd'hui très fort avec Dan Carter, la légende néo-zélandaise du rugby. Et puis dans les prochains jours, voilà, d'autres monstres sacrés de l'olympisme passeront pour animer ce défilé. On aura Nadia Comaneci, Tony Parker et bien d'autres, sans oublier évidemment les stars que seront les médaillés des Jeux de Paris 2024. Donc le site va ouvrir aujourd'hui sous une belle journée ensoleillée avec aussi des fortes... voilà, la chaleur est de retour, donc jusqu'à 31 degrés. Donc évidemment, tous les spectateurs des Jeux de Paris 2024 pour cette journée auront aujourd'hui toutes les recommandations nécessaires pour faire face à ces chaleurs élevées. C'était tout pour moi, Marc.
Merci, excusez-moi. Etienne, would you like to take the floor?
Sure. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Anne. Hello, everyone. What a weekend, huh? I don't know about you, but it's been a 10, 12, 13 years journey for me. And I must say that it's been the most stressful but incredible weekend thus far. Seeing the vision of Paris 2024, the Games Wide Open, coming to life with that incredible opening ceremony. I mean, for me, seeing the cauldron rising in the air, lighting the City of Light was an incredible moment. And then we see on the various venues that our vision is coming to life. We want our games to be spectacular. We also want them to be responsible. I think we are demonstrating that we are really taking the sport at the heart of the city and staging it against iconic backdrops on a scale that we've never seen before. We also meet our commitment of halving the carbon footprint, but it's so exciting to see the atmosphere and the venues coming to life. I don't know if you've been to the fencing at the Grand Palais, but it's really something special. I was at the Château de Versailles also for the equestrian. Even our expectations are blown away. The archery at Les Invalides, and also the surfing in Taupo, fantastic. And the swell today is going to be again very good. So all these is very we enjoy it very much, and that's how it comes to life. And the athletes obviously are already starting to bring us memories. I got two examples. Koko Yoshizawa of Japan taking gold in the women's street skateboard last night, age 14. Great story. Then Diura Keldiyorova winning the first ever judo gold for Uzbekistan at the spectacular Champ de Mars Arena. Another great memory. And I don't want to be chauvinistic, but we know how important it is for the success of the Olympic Games that the home team is doing well. So let me take this opportunity to salute our 3 gold medals so far with the rugby sevens delivering France's first gold medal in front of a packed Stade de France, full crowd there. Her first Olympic title and Olympic record for Léon Marchand. And obviously the emotional first Olympic gold for our 5-time mountain bike world champion, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. So the atmosphere inside the venue has been amazing, and we hope it's just a start. On the operational front, we're doing things a bit differently here, very much in line with our commitment. The operations have been very busy, and the setup has been put to test over a very busy weekend. But I think we can say we're off to a strong and smooth start. It was 32 out of 38 competitions venue that has been in actions, around more than 110 sessions, 119 sessions precisely, in all of our host cities, including Tahiti. Most of our teams and volunteers are working in the venues, but it's a good moment to recognize all the people that are working and backstage or in our headquarters, whether it's the suppliers, the sponsors, also the public authorities. I think the police has been incredibly doing an incredible job. Same with the public transport people. Everybody is really committed to the success of these games, and it's fantastic to see that. I know also the village operation. The village operation is often at the heart of the games. We have a few fun facts for you. I think we've sold we distributed. We don't sell more than 1,000 baguettes a day already. It's 700 kilos of eggs. It's almost a ton of meat every day that is being distributed in the village. And we have about 150 athletes that are visiting the beauty salon, which seems to be a very successful place in the village. So across the board again, I want to salute our volunteers. I got a few here in the rooms. They are fantastic, smiling and enthusiastic, and we are really proud of them. And I want to pay tribute today to Jean-Pierre, age 82, who introduced the first football match at Parc des Princes, but just seeing his smile on his face was just an incredible moment, and we love it. Spectators, we got the athletes in the venues, but also the spectators. We can really feel the enthusiasm of the public for these games. We got already a few records. There was a world record for women's rugby at the Stade de France with 66,000 people enjoying an incredible party. We're on track to beat all record in terms of basketball at the Olympics. It's the venue, 27,000 seaters in Lille, is full at every session thus far, 6 sessions already. More than 150 people, 50,000 people already watching basketball. And also across France, the party is not only in the stadium, but I'm pleased to report that it's close to 1 million spectators over the weekend that went into our Paris 2024 parks throughout the country, 153 operated over the weekend. So it's the party is going on across the whole nation. We're still continuing to sell tickets. We've sold already 200,000 tickets since the beginning of the weekend with football. 100,000 tickets sold on football. We see also the Paralympics taking on, and it's a very good news. But altogether, it's also a record in number of tickets sold for an Olympic Games. So overall, a very strong start. We know it is just a start. There is 14 days to go, and our eyes are set on the finish line of the 11th of August. Everything, not everything has been perfect, but we will continue to adapt. And we are determined to rise to the challenge, and we stay humble and focused. And that will end my first opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Etienne. I pass now to Christophe. Christophe.
Etienne, après tant d'années, tu continues de me surprendre. Je m'étais préparé en français. Les 10-12 dernières années, évidemment qu'elles sont importantes, Etienne. Quid des 15 précédentes? Parce que pour diriger un comité d'organisation avec une vision comme celle-ci, c'est pas 10 ans, c'est 25 ans d'expertise. Alors Etienne, si tu m'avais dit il y a quelques mois qu'on en serait là, le lundi à 11h devant les médias, je signais immédiatement. Voilà. Anne, pareil, et je t'ai dit. On ne lâche rien, c'est normal. Dans un système d'une telle complexité, d'une telle ampleur, comme tu le dis, c'est impossible que tout soit parfait tout le temps. Il y a des ajustements en permanence, mais vous avez, je pense, une devise dans ce comité d'organisation, elle est arborée fièrement par le président sur son uniforme, c'est « on ne lâche rien ». Et quand on dit qu'on ne lâche rien, tous les matins on est ensemble de très bonne heure. Et puis, par capillarité, on remonte l'ensemble des ajustements effectués. Alors, ça vient de vous, de la corde de médias, mais c'est également des fédérations internationales, des athlètes, bien entendu, des comités nationaux olympiques. Et on fait le bilan. Et ce qui se passe, c'est qu'on n'en a plus beaucoup, des problèmes à ce stade. Il en restera, c'est normal, hein. Plus de 9 millions de spectateurs, 30 000 représentants des médias, etc. Il y a toujours des ajustements. Mais ce qui est formidable, c'est votre attitude par rapport à cela. C'est que chacun d'entre eux, on va au bout de l'affaire pour essayer de l'adresser. Et ça, c'est un état d'esprit qui part de tout en haut, et je vous remercie pour cela. Il y a un autre facteur qui me paraît essentiel dans ce qui se passe aujourd'hui, c'est que voilà, on a tous plus ou moins nos observations, et puis on a des gens dans le système qui sont de vrais stars, qui sont mondialement connus, des gens très importants, des chefs d'État, etc. Et vous avez certainement suivi un certain nombre de comptes sur les réseaux, mais c'est impressionnant à quel point ces gens qui ont à peu près tout, et qui ont à peu près tout vécu, sont absolument renversés par ces jeux. Et ça, c'est une marque aussi exceptionnelle de jeu qui qui étaient conçus différemment et qui sont aujourd'hui consommés différemment pour tous et par tous. Et voilà, pour ce que vous avez fait à ce stade, un très grand bravo. Et puis pour la suite, des images comme celle-ci, avec en plus le Parc des Champions, et puis des images peut-être aussi des jeunes sur le parc, alors ceux-ci bien entendu, mais tous les autres qui auront la possibilité d'y aller parce que vous avez rendu ces jeux accessibles. Ce sont des images qui feront date aussi. Merci Marc et merci à tous.
Okay, seeing as we have two of the principal actors, I think we'll go straight into general questions rather than doing them first. But obviously, direct your questions to them first, I think, if possible, because we want to use their time as much as possible. So, gentlemen here, and then we'll go to Wakako in a second.
Good morning, Julien Preto for Reuters. Question for Anne and or Etienne. There's been discussions about the quality of the sand water. The weather forecast being what it is, we can assume or hope that the pollution levels will be, down and good enough for tomorrow's event, but there seems to be a concern about the flow of the river, of the current, that is too high. Can you confirm that, and do you have any figures to share with us? Thank you.
Yes, as you could see, there's been quite a lot of rain, including during the opening ceremony in the last couple of days. But we're monitoring very closely. The level of the Seine is going down rapidly. The weather forecast is bright and shiny, especially for today. It's going to be hot. So we're confident that we will be able to hold, even though we canceled the familiarization this morning, the competition tomorrow and Wednesday. And we still have a contingency plan that is in place for Friday, just in case. But as far as we are concerned, we are still confident to be able to hold the competition tomorrow. With respect to your questions about the flow of the river, we measure it by cube meter per second. Definitely it's been much higher than it is normally during this time of the year, but the guidelines, which is 1 meter per second to be able to hold the competition, is today met. So we don't have an issue in respect to the current.
Okay, let's go to Wakako here, and then we'll come across here. Wakako first. Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations so far for the wonderful competitions. Actually, my question goes to Mark regarding reallocation of the medal. Could you confirm who will be attending?
I don't have any more details than that at the moment. So,
which team, at least? So,
let me come back to you on that.
Indeed. And why it is conducted differently from other reallocation?
Well, it's different in the sense that it's an allocation, not a reallocation. So obviously the medals were never allocated to anyone in the first place, if you cast your mind back to Beijing. So, but in the sense that it's going to be at the Champions Park, as with, obviously the athletes themselves can ask where to have their reallocation. Many of them will be in the Champions Park, which is, to our mind and to their mind clearly too, a very fit place to have the medal reallocation. So actually I don't see that it's being treated very much differently.
I thought, you've given 2 dates, and 7th of August.
I think that's just logistics, when athletes can make it there. I honestly don't know. Maybe some of those athletes are competing at the other dates, but it's purely, that's purely, they're not being set aside in different ways. But obviously, as I say, it's an allocation, not a reallocation, so there is a difference. But they're both at the Champions Park, so,
and
yeah.
Last shot, the significance of this allocation ceremony after such a long time from the Olympic Games. Thank you.
Yeah. To me, or, yeah. I mean, clearly we wanted this to be settled as quickly as possible for everybody concerned, for all the athletes. It's the athletes that we care about. But Unfortunately, when the legal process gets involved, it can the wheels can move very slowly, and this is we will, as you've seen, we've expedited matters. Once we have a result, we've expedited matters to make sure the allocation can be here somewhere suitable. You can never replace the moment of winning or the moment of victory and the medal allocation during the games, but I think it was felt, and clearly the athletes agreed, that this is as good a place as any. And like everyone, it's I'm sure that you know it seems a shame for the delay, but process has to be followed properly, and process has been followed properly. Medals are being allocated at last, and those athletes and their families and their teams can celebrate properly, finally. Just was going to come over here to the lady here, and then we'll come across over here and move along. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Honoka Ito from Kyodo News. Yesterday, a judoka from Algeria was disqualified, and there is some speculation about his political background. So my question is to Mark. Could you give us some comment, and are you going to investigate or take any measurement against him? Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a little premature. There is a statement, I don't know if you've seen it, has been published by IGF. I don't know whether I should read the full thing, but I think it actually explains the situation quite well, because at this stage it's a matter between the athlete and the federation. Would you like me to? Shall I read it to you? I think it's probably a good idea. It's not too long. It says, on the 28th of July 2024, Massaoud Redouane Driss from Algeria was disqualified during the official weight control due to being overweight by 400 grams. This kind of incident can occur at any competition. During the Tokyo Olympic Games, there were 4 athletes who did not pass the weight control. During the Paris Olympic Games official weight control, Mr. Driss arrived for the weight control 10 minutes before the deadline and was found to be 400 grams over the allowed weight limit to compete. The IGF firmly upholds the principles of fair play, the Olympic spirit and non-discrimination. We believe that sport should remain a realm of integrity and fairness, free from the influences of international conflicts. Unfortunately, athletes often become victims of broader political disputes which are against the values of sport. But in accordance with the sports organisation rules of the IGF, any athlete who fails to make weight during the official weight control is disqualified from competition. We cannot provide justification for the overweight status of Mr. Driss, but we remain committed to ensuring that all athletes compete under equal and fair conditions. Following the Olympic Games, a full review and investigation of the situation will be conducted, and further action will be taken if needed. Which I think is a pretty comprehensive statement at this stage and explains the situation where we find ourselves. And as I say, that has just been published by the IGF. So, yeah, let's come over here. 3 gentlemen here.
Hi, it's Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail. This is either for Etienne or for Anne, and it's about the same. Given that obviously the weather conditions haven't helped and there's very little that you can do about that, but given that the triathletes have trained for many years for this moment, they've not been given, both the men and the women, the opportunity to do a practice run in there. And now the men will go to bed tonight not knowing when they wake up whether they will be participating in the morning. Would you issue an apology for this?
Well, you know, we have to wait, and we don't do, you know, fiction scenarios. We are very respectful of the athletes, and they are the heart of the Olympic Games. We've done everything we could in relation with the International Federation, but also with the public authorities to achieve the goal of having the swimmable Seine, and it's going to be a fantastic legacy for later. And we're still optimistic that we can hold the competition within the Seine River. We have contingency plan, so we hope that tomorrow morning when they'll wake up, they'll be able to participate, and that's how it stands right now. Well, we wait until tomorrow.
Okay. was a gentleman here, yeah.
Oui, bonjour, Pierre Galli de l'AFP, 2 questions. La première en français, donc pour Étienne et Anne. L'agence TASS a annoncé hier que l'accréditation de 4 de ces journalistes leur avait été retirée. Dans le même temps, les autorités françaises ont dit que ces accréditations, enfin que ces journalistes n'avaient pas été accrédités. Alors, est-ce que vous pouvez nous dire, est-ce qu'ils ont été accrédités ou pas par le comité d'organisation des Jeux? La deuxième question, the second question will be for Mark. There are reports in the United States in the social media that images of the opening ceremony were withdrawn from the IOC platform like YouTube. Can you confirm that? And is there any reason?
Not the case as far as I know, but yeah, do you want to take the first?
Sur la première question, donc on confirme que certains journalistes accrédités ont reçu une décision a posteriori de la part des autorités compétentes qui revenait sur l'accréditation. Donc nous, en tant que comité d'organisation de Paris 2024, nous appliquons la décision sans être partie prenante du rationnel. Ces informations ne nous sont pas communiquées. Je n'ai pas le nombre exact de journalistes confirmés, mais certains journalistes ont en effet reçu cette décision.
Yeah, just a clarification on the footage. No, we haven't taken any images out, but obviously not for censorship reasons. But obviously there are different rights in different countries, so that also makes a difference. But you should also be aware of not mixing up official platforms and non-official platforms, because obviously they don't have the rights to show those pictures. But we've cut no pictures for editorial reasons, shall we say? Yeah, gentleman back there.
Hi, I'm Anders Christensen from VG Norway. There are criticism from time to time because the athletes don't get paid any money for participating in the games on an individual level. I think Global Athletes also mentioned this in a harsh press release the other day, also mentioning how the IOC members get a fair, decent compensation for being here. What's your response to that?
I mean, I don't know if Christoph has anything to add. I mean, yes, there are for the members. Yes, there are per diems, but also remember that they are volunteers, so they are available the whole year round, and they work for the Olympic movement the whole year round. As for, I guess you're talking about prize money. We touched on that. We answered that quite regularly. Prize money has been paid for many years. This is not new. It's paid by normally. In fact, even the president was paid some prize money when he won his team foil in 1976. So it's not a new question. The question is which part of the Olympic movement pays the prize money, and normally it's the National Olympic Committee because they look after the team. That's how it works, and you'll find a large percentage do that, and that is perfectly acceptable. The federations, on the other hand, are more generally involved in the development of the sport and making their sport more widely available, developing the sport. So, of course, a federation can decide that the best way to do that is to pay elite athletes. Other federations would have a different view, that they would want to help all of their athletes and all of their sport. But it's a decision for the federations. But prize money itself, nothing new there. Okay, let's go to Graham.
Thank you. Hi, Graham Dunbar from the AP. One for the IOC side, one for the LOC side. On the Algerian judo team, it's the same team, even the same Israeli athlete as there was an issue with in Tokyo. But 3 years ago, when they said it was about the politics, the coach and the athlete got 10-year bans from the IJF. So weight issues are sort of convenient excuse. Are you going to accept that from Algerian NOC? And given that the president of the African group of NOCs, Anoka, is Algerian, and you've just done him a big favour by extending his IOC membership beyond the age limit, could you not expect a little bit better from the Algerian
whole series
NOC?
of different issues involved there. But I think the statement by the IGF at this stage, I think there's very little to add. Unfortunately, he's been disqualified because he's overweight. I can't say that there's anything we can do about that, but the IGF has also said, as they did in the past, that they will conduct a full inquiry and take action, as they have in the past, when that becomes available. The last thing we want to do is start taking action on hearsay and suppositions. So we have to wait to find out. There will be a full inquiry, and then we will, if there's necessary, action will be taken.
Is it not worth having a word with the very, very well-connected Algerian NOC member
I imagine
to say, can you just please stop this?
I imagine conversations are being had all the time, but I'm not privy to those conversations. You had a second question, I think.
Yes, from the LOC side, on the village, there's a report, anecdotal and report of athletes or teams trying to source their own food, their own transport. Some issues with the village. I think the Australian team has been concerned about transport connections, possibly to track and field practice venues. Is that just anecdotal? Have you had that feedback? And I think there's even the issue of athletes wanting more meat in their rations. I mean, I think we can obviously carbon footprint and environment is very important to you. Maybe that's what's got involved there. But on those issues, are you trying to work to sort of help the athletes a bit more on those?
Je vais peut-être répondre en français pour être précis. Nous avons eu au début des opérations quelques soucis autour du transport des athlètes, c'est vrai, notamment en amont des Jeux. Depuis, des mesures ont été prises avec des réserves présentes sur site, etc., de manière à ce que nous puissions servir les athlètes au niveau des transports de la meilleure des façons. Et je crois que aujourd'hui le système opère parfaitement. On a eu 100% de service sur les quelques derniers jours. Par rapport au fait que certains athlètes choisissent de ne pas rester au village, c'est pas nouveau. Et ça se passe régulièrement et on les accompagne d'ailleurs, on accompagne les CNO pour trouver des solutions les plus pragmatiques possibles. Au sujet de la nourriture, là aussi, on a eu un début où on a dû faire un certain nombre d'adaptations tout à fait normales dans des opérations de cette taille. Je vous mentionnais en ouverture le renfort en protéines animales, les 700 kilos d'œufs ou la tonne de viande qui est mis à disposition des athlètes de manière justement à répondre à la demande au regard d'une stratégie qui reste partagée d'ailleurs par la commission des athlètes autour d'une stratégie et d'une vision d'une food vision, d'une vision alimentaire qui va dans le sens de produits adaptés, bio, court-circuit, etc. Mais aujourd'hui, l'ensemble du dispositif a été adapté, je crois, à la satisfaction. On l'a encore eu aujourd'hui au niveau du groupe des chefs de mission et des athlètes des parties. Encore une fois, on met les athlètes au cœur de l'expérience de Paris 2024 et pour nous, c'est très, très important d'adapter l'ensemble des services à la demande des athlètes.
Hi, Etienne. Rob Harrison, Sky News, at the front. Sorry, here. Hi. We've had reports of telecoms infrastructure being attacked following the sabotage on the railways. Are you seeking any additional security assistance from the authorities to prevent any sabotage reaching Paris, reaching the Games? And then it's got a second part.
You know, we've been on this from the start, including with the public authorities, whether it's on the telecom front with ANSI, which is the l'Agence nationale de sécurité informatique, or with the various infrastructure, whether it's water, whether it's telecom, whether it's energy, all these areas, whether it's transport. We've tried to anticipate and we put a setup in place which allows us to react very quickly, and you'll see on the SNCF following the malicious act of last Friday, full service has been resumed this morning, and in respect with the trains, for instance, the Paris Olympic accredited trains have been secured so that people could operate normally on the various venues. So obviously we are on the highest level of alerts as normal during the games, and we're monitoring things very carefully.
And I don't know if this is for you or for Mark, but what is the latest on the death threats against the 3 Israeli athletes and the leaking of personal information, including blood data and gaining credential details? How concerned are you about that? And the police investigation?
I mean, I don't have any update, and unfortunately you'll expect me to say that anything to do with security really particularly such sensitive security, I wouldn't comment on. I made some comments about hacking and cyber attacks that we experienced a lot of attempts, particularly ahead of the opening ceremony, but doing a very good job to resist that. But I think in terms of security of people, you wouldn't expect me to say much more. No, just that we have, it's not a new thing, unfortunately, but the scale is increasing. We had it in Pyeongchang, we've had it ahead of Tokyo, we had it here, people trying to enter our systems, and we have very robust systems to protect ourselves, which have worked very, very well. Yeah. Oh, you want to add anything, Etienne? No,
Again, I think the systems are resisting very well. We are very well prepared. We got contingency plan. We got teams that are able to fix things when things happen. Again, I come back to the train thing. So far, operations have been able to be delivered smoothly, and we're optimistic that we can keep that until the end of the games. No, but against the safety of the athlete, every athlete, is as important as every other one, as well as every spectators and everybody participating to the games. And I think, again, there's been an unprecedented setup put together with the various public forces, whether it's on intelligence and international intelligence, whether it's on the ground, with, again, a setup that is unprecedented, and we are very concentrated until the end to protect everyone and anyone during those games.
And obviously we remain in touch with the NOCs concerned on a more or less daily basis to hear them. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Bonjour, André Fontenelle, Folie de São Paulo, Brésil. J'aimerais connaître la procédure exacte pour demain pour la prise de décision concernant la réalisation des épreuves sur la scène. À quelle heure on va prendre la mesure de la qualité de l'eau? À qui cette décision appartient? À quelle heure cette décision va être prise? Et si les athlètes vont être communiqués de cette décision sur place quand ils seront déjà là ou avant de quitter le village olympique?
Donc là-dessus, le protocole est très clair. Il est connu, il a été aussi appliqué pendant les tests event l'année dernière. Donc la décision sera prise à 4 heures du matin sur la base des prélèvements qui sont faits 24 heures avant. Dans le cadre d'un protocole qui a été arrêté avec la Fédération internationale, qui a en dernier recours la décision. Décision est prise en commun avec l'organisateur, le CIO et la Fédération internationale. Dès 4 heures du matin, la décision est prise. Les délégations sont informées directement, de manière à ce que les athlètes puissent être mis au courant aussi rapidement que possible. Un statement est issue dans la foulée de la décision à 4 heures du matin.
Yep, gentleman over there.
Paul Wolde from the Globe and Mail in Canada. Just back to the Seine again. Can you share with us any testing information to tell us just how close you are to meeting the standards, or above, below? I mean, can you give us any sense of what the testing showed?
I will not give you any figure right now. We're still measuring things as we go. We got different points and different measure points throughout the day. We also have a tool that is called a coliminder, which is some kind of a tool that anticipates what is going to be coming, and the coliminder is showing is going down. So that's why we say that we are optimistic for tomorrow. But a statement will be made throughout the day. I think so. I think we have a communication later on today in that respect to give you the trend. We make the call at 4 a.m. Yes.
Okay, we're going to go gentleman here, then we're going to come across to Rachel over there. Thank you.
Hello, again, Jean Poteau for Reuters. A few days ago, we saw a tweet that was actually afterwards taken down by the flag bearer of the Israel delegation, showing bombs that he signed, saying, "From me to you, with pleasure." We have contacted Israeli authorities, the Israel Olympic Committee. We did not get any response, and we were just wondering if it's something that the IOC is aware of, and are you looking into it?
What I would say is we are always in constant contact with national Olympic committees, in particular in this case. You know, it's a very sensitive issues. There are lots of claims and counterclaims and accusations and so on and so forth. But we saw both NOCs taking part in the ceremony on Friday, which I think is a great sign. And that is just to remind you of, despite all these difficult questions raised all the time, that our mission is to unite the whole world in sport, which is what we're doing, which is what we've done, it's what people want to see. That doesn't mean to say that we don't look into things and we don't talk to people about these things. We are in constant contact. It's a very delicate situation, as always, not just this one, many other conflicts and so on in the world going on that we have to deal with, and we have to bring different nations together. So for the time being, I would say that let's be pleased with the fact that we managed to unite all of our athletes from the territories of all of our 206 National Olympic Committees in the opening ceremony. We will continue to work to make sure that we can have continuing this kind of peaceful relationship between all parties in the Olympic Games. Rachel, excusez-moi.
Bonjour, merci. Rachel Préti, l'équipe. Je voulais savoir, concernant la séquence au Trocadéro, le parc urbain, suite au report de la session de samedi matin, une partie des billets ont été annulés hier soir. Combien ça concerne et est-ce que quelque chose est proposé à ceux qui avaient ces billets? Et Étienne, est-ce que tu peux préciser le nombre de tickets qui ont été vendus? J'ai entendu 200 000 tout à l'heure, mais je ne suis pas sûre du chiffre. Merci beaucoup.
Donc sur les billets, on est sur un rythme d'un peu plus de 40 000 par jour aujourd'hui, essentiellement sur le tournoi de football, puisque c'est à peu près là où il en reste, même si il y a toujours des billets qui sont disponibles, à la fois sur la plateforme de revente, qui fonctionne très bien aussi. Il y avait une liste d'attente hier, waiting list, waiting time, et donc voilà, 200 000 billets depuis le début des Jeux, et on est sur un rythme d'à peu près 40 000 par jour. Concernant la séance du festival urbain, comme tu le sais, nous avons annulé les épreuves de skate. On a décidé en contingency de tenir les épreuves de skate aujourd'hui, mais par contre de ne pas ouvrir le parc urbain. Donc on a en effet annulé les billets et on annulera le parc urbain on animera le parc urbain à nouveau à partir de demain.
Et les personnes seront remboursées.
Tracy Holmes is down here, and then we'll come to, I think we're coming to a gentle end, I think. So, yeah, these two, and yeah, please, Tracy.
My question's to you, Tracy Holmes from the Australian Radio Network and the Sports Ambassador podcast. Just following up from the Reuters question, I'm just wondering if you could explain what kind of processes are in place so that we can all feel confident that when issues like, tweets with bombs and messages appear and disappear, that athletes or officials or anybody involved from any country would be treated the same way, regardless of which country or which NOC they are from or representing?
Well, I can give you that assurance that they are, and I can give you the assurance that we're in touch with all of our NOCs and we discuss these issues. I'm not going to enter into here whether a tweet appeared, disappeared, what it was. If I did, we would spend all of our time, particularly just even on this one issue, because on both sides there are all these things appearing all the time. What I can assure you of is that we are held to account by all of our national Olympic committees, and they make sure that we play true on for all sides with all of the NOCs concerned. And we remain in constant contact with them. There's a process. We have an NOC department which its sole job is to, or not sole job, but one of their key jobs is to remain in contact and build bridges between various NOCs and to make sure that any complaints and issues are properly dealt with to the satisfaction of all the NOCs concerned. Yeah.
Bonjour, merci Frangeux. Une question pour le CIO. Anne Hidalgo a déclaré ce matin qu'elle aimerait que les anneaux olympiques restent accrochés sur la Tour Eiffel après les Jeux, donc éternellement. Quelle est la politique, quelle est la règle en la matière au niveau du CIO? Une ville peut-elle conserver les anneaux une fois que les Jeux sont terminés? Merci.
Yeah, I think, I'll go to Christophe in a minute. It's one of the, if you like, minor reforms of Olympic agenda. And President Backus, we wanted the rings to be more present. The rings after the Sydney Olympic Games were taken down from the bridge. So we're very happy if a city or a region or a country wants to have the rings, but that is entirely, in the first place, something here for the Parisians and the mayor and so on to discuss. Do we like the rings to be seen in an Olympic city? Absolutely. Should they remain? I think that's a question for Paris and for the French people. Christophe?
Pas grand-chose à rajouter, Alain, si ce n'est que déjà c'est la première fois qu'on le demande pour la Tour Eiffel, donc il n'y a pas vraiment de processus sur la question. Par contre, est-ce que ça serait une énorme fierté d'avoir des anneaux qui restent, bien entendu, vous imaginez, ce symbole et l'association de valeurs, c'est quelque chose de phénoménal. Du reste, Alain, on était ensemble il y a quelques mois à Gangwon. Tu l'as certainement remarqué, mais sur certains bâtiments, y compris dans certains sites, dans toute la province, il y avait encore les anneaux. Et c'est vrai que cette notion d'héritage, c'est une fierté à la fois pour le mouvement olympique parce qu'on sait ce qu'on laisse en termes d'héritage positif dans ces différentes régions. Et puis pour eux aussi, c'est la fierté d'avoir participé à un projet qui transcende ce que l'on vit actuellement et qui restera un symbole pour les décennies à venir. Donc bien entendu qu'à chaque fois qu'on peut avoir des anneaux qui restent dans des endroits symboliques, et Dieu sait si celui-ci l'est, c'est une fierté pour le mouvement olympique.
That's a good moment to end this press conference. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. So thank you very much, and thank you to the team. Thank you to Etienne and Christophe.
Merci.
Merci.
One, two, one, two.